little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned, wear a hat, sometimes play chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling.
you miss your mommy? Did you miss your mommy? Did you miss your mommy? Oh, my poor baby. I missed you too. Bonjour. Hello. Bienvenue. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. We're having a little coffee chat today. A little hot chocolate maybe? Or a little tea? Or a little rosé? Whatever you want. Let's just chat. I have been getting ready to go to Scotland, I think, for the last month. This has come in from Amazon, that's come in from Amazon, that goes in that suitcase, this goes in that suitcase, and then I finally got my riding helmet the other day. And I have to tell you, as vain as I am about my looks, about my hair, about my nails, I have to admit, there is no way to wear that riding helmet and make it look any better. These girls that I watch on YouTube, they've got the long hair and the helmet on, and they look so darn cute. I don't know what I'm going to do to kind of fancy mine up. Maybe I need to put glitter on it or something. But anyway, I have been doing my yoga, my Pilates. Now, when I say yoga, I mean using a yoga ball. And then I'm also sitting on my yoga ball while I watch my movies at night. And it also helps with your posture, not just me going to ride horse. I've been walking 3 to 4 miles a day, as you saw in the clip. I've been doing everything possible and eating really healthy. But trying to get the mind ready is like, oh my gosh. I've ordered my Uber for 6 a.m. to get me to Fontainebleau train station, and then I go into Paris, and then I'm going to get an Uber to go to Gare du Nord. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm not taking any chances, because at 9 a.m. that train leaves Paris to go to the UK. It doesn't care that there was a metro accident or something going on or you being late. It doesn't care. So I'll get an Uber right outside of Gare de Lyon, and I'll go straight to the train station, and then I'll go up the stairs. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna get me a Starbucks before. And then I'll go up the stairs and get all settled in and check in. And then I'll be on my way to Scotland, and then when I get to the UK, I just get a little Uber, go down the street, and I get another train in a couple of hours. I gave myself a little bit of a break, and then I'm gonna go to Scotland. And I can't wait. I hope the weather's good so I can take a lot of pictures for you. And I hope to do a live while I'm on the train if I can, if they have Wi-Fi. And so I'm really just doing things I need to do to go on this ride. But as I've done all of these things, I've realized that I need to be doing all these things, not just for the ride. I need to be doing these things because if I do fall or whatever, maybe I can have the energy to pick myself up or not be hurt as much. Or maybe if I do have something happen to me, maybe I can recover better. You know, it's just all these things that go in my head. And I don't ever worry about living by myself. I don't know, I usually have the phone by me or something, but you know, hopefully I can crawl over to get the phone, but I never worry about that. I really never worry about too much. I live in a town that's very small, and I don't have to worry about shootings. I don't have to worry about school shootings. I don't have to worry about people pickpocketing me. I can just put my Visa card or MasterCard or whatever I want to do, put it in my back pocket, or I can just hold it in my hand. Nobody's going to steal it from me. So I think sometimes that I get a little complacent because I do live in such a town that is very small and everybody kind of knows everyone, and you don't really worry about anything. And then when I think about going to Scotland, I don't worry about anything there because I'm going to stay in the same hotel. I'm going to be around the same people all the time. Don't worry about that. But going to the States, I really worry about that. It really does make me concerned because I'm not used to being in a big city, and they live in a suburb right out of Atlanta. So do I get to go and do my 3 miles a day walking, or do I have to go to the gym? They said they would take me to their gym as a guest, but you know, I can still do my Pilates though inside, you know, the bedroom where I'm staying, because Jennifer has a mat I can borrow. So there's a lot of things I can still do, and I'm sure she has some weights, and if not, I can go to the gym to get them. But it's still, these are still activities that I want to continue while I'm gone in the States, because I'm going to be eating Mexican food, and one night I'm going to have a margarita, and I know we're going out of town one night to the Highlands, and we're going to go out to a special dinner, and I know I'm going to eat more than what I should, but I'm going to try very hard to just eat salads. So, but I have noticed a big change in me. I've lost 4 inches on my waist. It's embarrassing to even say that. I mean, I feel good that I've done it, but it's embarrassing because you kind of want to say, what the heck was it to begin with, you know? But I have, and I just have to keep working those abs, because at my age, those abs just need to be worked on all the time. I mean, I practice when I'm walking, you know, trying to suck in my stomach and hold it in, and stand up straight. And I really do think that ages you a lot when you start that humping over. I noticed myself today when I was washing dishes, I was kind of doing that, and I thought, no, you get right back up there, because I've always had great posture, and I want to continue as much as I can. So it's just an attitude, I think, that I have to have and continue. It isn't just for vacationing attitude, it's a life attitude. You know how we talk about don't go on a diet, make a life change, and I think that's what I've done. And I certainly have time for it. It isn't that I'm not too busy to be able to walk 3 miles a day, or I walk with Leslie Sandstone. If it's bad outside, I just get my mat out and I walk with her 2 miles. Now, she does a little different things to get your cardio up, so she's a little bit more than just me walking outside, but that's okay. But when I walk with her, I don't usually do Pilates. So today, I've just walked a mile because I had to go into town to get my nails done. And so I'll do Pilates today, but I really like doing Pilates. It really works muscles that you don't normally work. You know, I don't work any muscles sitting here doing this except my mouth. That's it. And then when I'm on the computer and, you know, when I'm watching movies and just cleaning normal house, you don't really work a lot of different muscles. You work the same. So I like doing different Pilates. And I'll list below the lady that I use. I've mentioned her several times, but I will mention her below. One of the reasons I did mention in the title that September is not what I expected it to be, if you've not heard, I will be going back to the States. I had a few people tell me that I shouldn't be doing this because I did something wrong or whatever. Well, okay, so I did. And then some people say, well, what really happened? And I really don't want to go into it until I get back with my new visa and start this process all over again. So I will tell you everything when I get back. But, you know, we all make mistakes, and I guess I made a few and whatever. I misunderstood some things, so it's okay. It's going to be okay. I get to go home and visit my daughter, so I just wasn't planning on doing it this soon. But I've just had a great time changing my lifestyle habits and getting me ready mentally and physically for this trip, because I haven't flown for about 3 years, and I found out that I've got to get something extra, of course, to go to the UK. I've got to show my passport online. I've got to answer some questions online, and they do something so that when I go through their scanner that it's already on my passport. So that's new, and I did pay for a seat this time. I didn't pay for it to return to Paris, but I did pay for it going to the States. And I've got a bulkhead seat, so I don't have anyone in front of me. So that's good, because I don't know about you, but when I fly long flights, I always wear those compression socks. They are ugly. They are not attractive at all. But if it keeps me from having any kind of vein problem or clot problem when I get to the States or when I return to France, I certainly don't mind. In fact, I usually wear something that's either a dress or a skirt or something that's loose, because as soon as that plane gets up in the air, I go to the bathroom, I put those compression socks on, and then right before it lands, I take them off. And I find that it helps me mentally. to know that I'm doing something good for me. May not ever happen if I didn't do it, but I don't want to take that chance. And I've had them ever since I moved here, so I might as well use them over and over. Now, if I'm going on a flight for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, I don't use them. But for an 8-hour flight, where I'll probably be sitting a good 5 hours, I will use them. And if I get to go on my trip to Egypt, it's a 4.5-hour flight, so I'll use them for that. But anything over 2 hours, I'll use them. But listen, I can't think of a worst way to go on a vacation or go see someone or visit or whatever and have a health issue when it could have been taken care of by just some ugly compression socks. And if you don't know what size you are, try to get someone to help you, or look it up on the internet and see whether you should get a small or a medium or a large. I happen to have calves that are big. I don't know exactly why I was born with big calves, but I have big calves, so I always know to get a medium. I do wear the compression socks, and I do think that that is a really safe thing to do. And then you can kind of walk around, and you don't have to worry about walking around in your socks, like your socks that are really close or hose or anything that you're going to wear. So I like doing that. And then I think you're just kind of like, I'm taking snacks on the plane. I don't want to eat any airplane food. I just don't. And I don't want to go after the bread and the butter and the desserts. So I am going to just stay away from eating airplane food and just eat my snacks that I brought and bring some healthy things. And that way, when I get off the plane, if they want to go get dinner or lunch or whatever time it is in the afternoon, then I won't be, completely stuffed. And not only that, I think the airplane food is so heavy on you. That's not what I want to be sitting for the next 5 hours with that heaviness on my stomach. I just think it's not worth taking the chance. So I take the little socks and I do it. I don't know if you saw my last video or not, but at the end of it, I put a picture of Kitty. And another thing I wasn't expecting this September is having to put Kitty to sleep. She was not getting any better. She loved to go outside, because where we lived before in Georgia, we lived on a 350-acre horse ranch. So she could go around and everywhere and just loved it. And so it came after about 6 or 7 months here that we'd go outside, and then I'd go get her and she'd come in. And she never strayed. She never went anywhere. And she absolutely loved it. And especially in the warm weather, she'd lay out there on the grass and lay out in the sun. But she had gotten to where she was a little bit too weak to even do that. So I watched her really carefully the last week, and she just wasn't getting any better, and she really wasn't going to get any better. And I also didn't want to take the chance of burdening someone else while I'm in the States. That would not be fair to them. So I made an arrangement the day before to have her put to sleep the next day. And I think because I knew it was coming, it wasn't as difficult as Buster. I mean, I certainly cried and I certainly walked out and boo-hooed, but I didn't feel guilty because I knew it had to be done. I mean, and I had seen it, I had seen her decline. And I still look for her. When I go in my bedroom, she would always say, meow. And I don't know whether that meant hello or why are you in here? Or sometimes I worry about laying my clothes down that I'm getting ready to pack or something, and I'll say, they better not put them there. She's not here. So there are quite a few times that I have missed her quite a bit. But Max, I don't think he's realized that she's gone. But I will tell you, the last 2 or 3 days, he has been clingy, just like plastic wrap. I mean, it's not enough to be on the sofa with me. He needs to be against me. So, and I'm very surprised that he's even on the floor right now, because normally he's in my lap, not next to my lap, in my lap. And then yesterday morning, I think it was, I was laying on my right side, and all of a sudden, he used to do that all the time. He just kind of put his chin and rested. I kind of like wake up or something. But this time it was like, whoa. I mean, he was like right there. It's like very aggressive, you know, like, I'm here, lady, you know, pay attention to me. So I don't know what's going on. He didn't care for the cat. Well, he didn't pay any attention to the cat, but if Miss Kitty got close to me, he would, because he doesn't like anyone else around me. But I don't think he's really paid any attention, and I don't think he knows that I'm going out of the town either. But I don't know, maybe he just having a needy time, I don't know. The weather's been really good, sweater weather, so that's the best in the world for me. And just keep on working on yourself, keep on being the best you can, and don't forget, if you want to travel, travel. And if you want to start walking, walk. And like I said in my little video about Pilates, if you can't do all 30 minutes, because I couldn't when I started, do 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes more than you did the day before. And if you can't walk a mile a day, walk half a mile. If you can't walk half a mile, walk half of that. I mean, walk a quarter of a mile, walk a half a mile, walk 3/4 of a mile, whatever, and then build your stamina up. Because I think the older we get, the more we need to work on ourselves. You know, we didn't work on ourselves when we were 20 and 30. We went and hit the gym every once in a while or whatever. And of course, when we were younger, we had some weird gyms. We didn't have the fancy things they have now. But so keep working on yourself. And I hope September was a good month for you. It was a little sad around here, but then also it's been very good, because I am getting ready to go out of town to go horseback riding, and I am so looking forward to that. If I could just figure out how to make that riding helmet look nice. I don't know how I'm going to do that, so just, you know, don't pay any attention to that when I bring back videos. Take care, everyone, and I hope you had a good week. And then I hope you have a good week coming up. And if you want to join my community, go to janiceinfrance.com. And I also put out on the post when the groups are going to stop. And we'll try to talk Rick into doing the French connection, if not anything else. And then I can always, while I'm in the States, hook him up to the Zoom and make him the leader. Or maybe I can do a few French connections while I'm gone. I don't know. I have no idea. But we'll see if we can talk Rick into doing the French connection, because I know all of you really like that one, because a lot of you that are thinking about it really want to know questions, and some of us have the answers, and obviously I don't. But maybe I will when I come back. Have a great week. God bless everyone. Be kind. As always, I love you. Au revoir.